The middleweight division seems to be brewing up a little storm right now in terms of who is the number one contender. Now, Dana White said that it's Kelvin Gastelum. It's Kelvin Gastelum. Chris Weidman thinks that it's him. So now they're both kind of jockeying on the internet about who's going to be next in line, who's going to fight Whitaker next. Chris Weidman basically is saying he's the most decorated. Kelvin Gastelum clapped back and said, if the next in line for the belt is the most decorated, then Whitaker needs to fight the Christmas tree at Rockefeller Center. I guess. But anyways, Chris Weidman then bounces back, claps back, and says the strangest thing because, in Kelvin Gastelum's tweet, he basically called Chris Weidman, instead of calling him Chris, he called him Crispy. Chris Weidman is so easy to get riled up. So he said, Crispy? Now it's personal, bro. Chris Weidman is an interesting guy. And then but Chris Weidman does lay out the facts. He's like, I'm ranked ahead of you and I beat you. So if you're the guy, then I'm actually the guy. Because I beat you. If you think you're the guy, I beat you. Chris Weidman actually is the guy. He actually is the guy. But the thing is, the way that this UFC works, he's not going to get the shot. He's not going to get the shot. He is going to fight Yoel Romero. He's going to fight Yoel Romero, or he is going to fight David Branch. He is. I know that David Branch is really cool with that camp, but he's going to fight somebody else. There's another fight there for him. It's either David Branch. Anthony Smith just came off a win, but then Thiago Santos I think it's David Branch. I think that Chris Weidman is either going to fight Yoel Romero or he's going to fight David Branch. I can't see him going to fight Jacare or anybody like that, but because Jacare could very well beat Chris Weidman. Jacare could very well beat Chris Weidman. But if Dana White wants it to be Kelvin Gastelum, it's going to be Kelvin Gastelum. Dana White said, I watched an interview with Chris Weidman where he said that he was back in training. His thumb is feeling better than ever. It feels great. He can train again. He's lifting weights again, and he's back on the right track. After that interview, then he went to UFC 225. He went to UFC 225, right? And then after UFC 225, Dana White said, well, Chris Weidman's out because his thumb is still messed up. He's still injured. And I'm like, wait a minute, didn't he just say that he wasn't injured anymore? He's well on his way he's well past recovery now. He's well past recovery. And then Dana White went on to say, Kelvin Gastelum, we wanted him to step up to replace Yoel, but he has some issues. Dana White wants it to be Kelvin Gastelum. Kelvin Gastelum is 25 years old. Robert Whitaker is 25 years old. But problem with Robert Whitaker is, it's almost like they turn that guy off. He'll have a great fight and then they power him down and put him in the closet until the next fight. He is just such a robot. He's the nicest robot I've ever met I've never met him, but he's the nicest robot I've ever seen in the octagon. But he does come off as a guy who's just, you know what he's going to say. You know what he's going to say, and you know what he's going to do. His fights are exciting as hell, though. His fights are great. But his personality-wise, it's not much. It's not like he's, hitting you with cool one-liners. Or it's not like he's coming out there super cool or super aggressive or super, there's something about certain people, like a Michael Bisping. Michael Bisping typically was a dick. But when he wasn't being a dick to his opponents, like if there was no opponent to talk about, he was being very cool. He had zippy little one-liners, and he was just he had this really fun personality. Robert Whitaker he just seems to be a businessman, just a straight up businessman, Anyway, so I think that Kelvin Gastelum definitely has the charm. He definitely has the charm. He puts on the smile and he's there. Comes off as a little bit too much nice guy, but He has fought twice in Brazil, and I think he was trying to be nice to like Brazilians. But either way, I don't think Chris Weidman is getting the shot. I think it's definitely going to be Kelvin Gastelum. I'm not sure what you guys think. Do you guys think it should be Chris Weidman next for the belt or Kelvin Gastelum? Let me know in the comments section. Like and subscribe.